Shrimpy shot dead in Africa St. James. A man was shot and killed by unknown assailants on Thursday in the community of Africa in Little Port St. James. Dead is 44-year-old Kenroy Doman, otherwise called Shrimpy, from the same community. Reports were that about 9:05 p.m., Doman was walking along the roadway in the community when armed men ambushed him. The men reportedly opened gunfire, hitting him multiple times before escaping in the area. He was pronounced dead at hospital. Detectives are asking anyone who may be able to assist in the investigation into Doman's death to contact the Montego Bay Criminal Investigations Branch at 876-953-6191. Crime Stop at 311 or the nearest police station. Cops probe possible link between man's murder and PNP candidate's campaign car fire. The St. James police are now investigating a car fire and a murder in the Lilliput community to determine if they are linked. On Thursday night, about 7 p.m., a Nissan AD wagon that was being used as part of a campaign machine for People's National Party Council candidate Jason Cummins was set on fire. Shortly after, Doman, 44, was killed. A high-ranking officer informed reporters that they are investigating the incidents to determine if both are linked. Reports are that about 7 p.m., the Nissan AD wagon, which was parked along the roadway, was set ablaze. The fire brigade was alerted and a team from the Iron Shore station responded to the scene and extinguished the blaze. Relatives devastated after mentally ill man killed following arson attack on politician's vehicle. The family of 44-year-old Kenroy Doman, otherwise called Shrimpy, has been left with many questions after their mentally ill relative was shot and killed after he allegedly committed an act of arson in Lilliput St. James on Thursday night. According to the St. James police, it is alleged that the now deceased man managed to open the front passenger door of a silver 2012 Nissan AD wagon owned by PNP Council caretaker Jason Cummins approximately 7 p.m. Fire was reportedly set to a seat of the vehicle that was reported being utilized by the candidate campaign. The vehicle was parked in front of Cummins' residence. Doman was murdered less than 2 hours later while walking along a roadway in the section of the community called Africa. Dejani Doman, the daughter of the deceased, said that it is a known fact across their country that her father was diagnosed with schizophrenia in 2010. The grieving woman stated that her family is now struggling to come to grips with Thursday's incident, as the deceased man does not deal with politics business. "I don't know if I got it wrong or something, but my father no deal with politicians. Him head a go, so him will do certain things, but him no in a no political business," stated Dejani. "We carry him go doctor and we carry him go take medication. We'll carry him go doctor most of the time and then him keep it for about 3 days and sometimes a month when the situation is bad," she stated. The St. James police are investigating. Manchester man stopped with several charges including murder. The Manchester Police Division says it has made significant developments in the investigation of a shooting incident that occurred at a bar on Coffee Grove Street, Port Manchester on January 5th. The incident resulted in Kimani Jones, a 33-year-old construction worker from Springground District, Port Manchester, being charged with murder, wounding with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. The incident resulted in the death of O'Neill Henry, otherwise called Pasha, a farmer of Bottom Coffee Grove, Manchester, and the injuring of another man. According to alleged eyewitness account, the men were among patrons at a bar when Jones reportedly arrived on a motorcycle accompanied by another individual. The appellant reportedly opened fire at the patrons. Subsequently, both individuals fled the scene on the motorcycle. Upon the arrival of the police, Henry and another man were seen with gunshot wounds. Both men were taken to hospital, where Henry was pronounced dead and the injured man admitted in serious condition. Jones was pointed out during an identification parade as the person driving the motorcycle during the incident. He was subsequently arrested and charged. The charges were laid after a question and answer session conducted in the presence of his attorney. Arrangements are being made for him to attend court. Now charged for murder. A 39-year-old man from St. Andrew has been charged with murder after he was accused of killing a man in 2023. Charged is Kavina James, otherwise called Nile, of Burnside Valley District. He has also been charged with possession of prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. James is accused of killing 28-year-old Akeem Barnaby, otherwise called Coco, of West Avenue in Kingston. The incident reportedly took place on Conrad Lane in Kingston on Friday, April 28, 2023. Reports are that about 12:08 p.m., James allegedly alighted from a motor vehicle and opened gunfire, hitting Barnaby to the upper body. Barnaby was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. James was arrested and charged following an interview. His court date is being arranged. Unidentified man gunned down in taxi in St. James. An unidentified man died as a result of gunshot wound he received in Buckerset, St. James on Thursday. The body is of brown complexion and has an unkempt hairstyle. It was clad in a red t-shirt, blue jeans, and a pair of black polo slippers. Reports from the Montego Bay police are that about 4:50 p.m., the man was sitting in the front passenger seat of a taxi, waiting to be transported to another community. An explosion was then heard. The man was found slumped in the motor car. The police were summoned and he was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Meanwhile, detectives are asking anyone who may be able to identify the body or assist in their investigations to contact the Montego Bay Criminal Investigations Branch at 876-953-6191, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station. Arrest made following stabbing incident in Manchester. The Christiana police have made an arrest in connection with a stabbing incident that occurred at a bar in Wellman Street, Christiana, Manchester on Saturday, February 10. Charged is 49-year-old Vince Archer, otherwise called Rasta, a construction worker from Madison District, Manchester. He has been charged with wounding with intent. During an altercation, it is reported that Archer allegedly brandished a knife and inflicted multiple stab wounds and lacerations to 2 men. The police were summoned and the men were taken to hospital where they were admitted for treatment. Archer was subsequently arrested and charged. His court date is being finalized. Holness says funding earmarked for repair of areas in several resort towns affected by weather event. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says funding has been earmarked for the repair of areas in several resort towns affected by an adverse weather event last week. Flooding was reported in Ochera, St. Anne, Montego Bay, St. James, Falmouth, Trelawny, Negril in Westmoreland, and Hanover. Hotels and cruise ship piers were impacted. Speaking at the parliamentary luncheon at the Jamaica House on Thursday, the Prime Minister explained how the weather event affected the tourism sector. He noted that while the funds are available to respond, the government must find ways to clear the bureaucratic and administrative hurdles so that it can respond quickly to these events.
It destroyed one of our piers in Ocherios. It destroyed several of our entertainment spots, including Pier 1 and Harmony Cove. It destroyed a major roadway in West End Negril, and it deposited a mixture of seaweed and sargassum on our 7 miles pristine beach in Negril. Unexpected. You would call this to be an exogenous shock. We have ring-fenced a small amount of funds to assist with the cleanup in Negril of the beaches. We have found funds to reopen roads, and we are now doing preliminary assessments as to what it would cost to repair the damage to our seawalls, the wave breaker, and the groins in Ocherios. What we have not yet figured out is how to deal with these emergency matters within our procurement rules and other rules that exist, because these rules are there for good reason. But we have to learn how to navigate them and deploy them very quickly if we are to indeed ensure that our tourism product recovers and recovers swiftly.
Man to face trial for allegedly biting Transport Authority employee, however, accused cleared of destroying property. A man who was accused of destroying several items at the Transport Authority office in Freeport, Montego Bay, and even biting one of the officers, was acquitted of malicious destruction of property at the end of the trial in the St. James Parish Court on Tuesday. However, although he was clear of the malicious destruction of property charge, St. James resident Roger Moore will still face trial for unlawful wounding in connection with biting the officer. On Tuesday, trial judge Sasha Marie Simit actually heard testimonies from 2 corn witnesses. The first witness was the Transport Authority area supervisor and complainant in the case. He testified that on November 1, about 12:05 p.m., he was at the company's Freeport office having a meeting with his manager when someone arrived and notified the manager that a man wanted to see her. He stated that he stepped outside and saw the accused, who asked if he could see the manager, to which she replied yes. I went back inside and I had a conversation with the manager before returning outside to inform the man, which is Mr. Moore, that the manager will soon be with him. He told me that he wanted to see the manager right now, and if he can't, he's going to mash up the place and kill who he wanted to kill, the witness stated. The witness also stated that the accused attempted to enter the manager's office, but that he was blocked from the entrance to prevent him from entering. Moore then bit on him on the left arm, he claimed, and he tried to stop him by pushing his hand away from his mouth. He also claimed that another co-worker intervened and assisted by pulling him away. According to the witness, Moore was later handcuffed by the police, but he stressed that he had left the compound before Moore was taken away. Moore was given the opportunity to offer his account of events and question of the Transport Authority officer on the stand, and the officer denied practically everything Moore said. The second witness, the arresting officer, testified that he was at the Transport Authority office when he saw Moore and notified him that a warrant had been issued for his arrest and that he needed to be taken back into custody. He then told me that he was not going back into any custody and that I would have to kill him, the officer added. The officer stated that he gave the warrant to another police officer and informed the accused he was not there to kill him. He said that Moore insisted on not returning to custody, so he told him to go with the other officer. The officer stated that he later heard a commotion and observed Moore's hand swiping. He claimed that a desktop monitor slipped off the desk and that he overheard Moore threatening to mash up the place. The judge then sought clarity, asking the officer if he had witnessed Moore shove the monitor off the desk. The officer acknowledged that he had indeed witnessed this incident. He said he then placed Moore into custody, pending the warrant about which he had been informed. After hearing the testimony, Smith Asher concluded that because there was such disparity between the versions, she would not be able to render a verdict beyond a reasonable doubt of guilt. The doubt is just too much because of the glaring differences in the testimonies. At this time, I'm stopping the case and a not guilty verdict will be entered, Smith Asher said. Regarding the wounding charge, the court was informed that the case was ready for trial. The judge then asked Moore whether he wanted the court to assign him an attorney, to which he replied that he could afford one but needed some time. I am going to give you 2 weeks to get a lawyer. If on that date you do not have one, I'll assign one to represent you and set a trial date. And whatever happens on that date, the case is going to be tried, the judge said, before scheduling the case for mention on March 1. She extended Moore's bail until then. Moore was accused of damaging a Dell monitor, a desktop telephone, and a self-inking stamp on November 1, 2023 at the Transport Authority's office. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.